All right, so we are ready to begin. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone for joining us. Hello, and welcome to the 2022 New York Power Authority and New York State Canal Corporation Virtual Supplier Diversity Expo. My name is Eric Alamini, Senior Director of Supplier Relationship Management at the New York Power Authority and your MC. Although we wished it would be different circumstances and we would be having such an event like today in person, we are still thrilled to have you join us virtually from all around the state and the country. I already see people writing their information in the chat. I see folks joining us from Rochester, New York, from Haverstraw, New York. Exciting, exciting. So this Supplier Expo will be centered around a couple of things, around educate, around preparation, and around participation. Educate. We want you to learn about the work NYPA and Canals is currently performing and will perform over the next 10 years as part of its Vision 2030, which you'll hear a little bit more about. Prepare. We also want to provide opportunities to help diverse businesses prepare for future work that's happening within New York State. And finally, participate. We want you to meet directly with NYPA, Canals, and other key decision makers to find out how we can begin developing relationships. Take the time to join one of our sessions to learn how certain businesses and certifications can increase your opportunities to bid on contracts, or sit in on our sessions on preparing your business to sell to government to expand your business. And be sure to pitch your products and services to NYPA, Canals, and several prime contractors virtually at our Opportunity Zone session this afternoon. We're excited on this agenda. We hope that through this expo, we will build on existing relationships as well as forging new ones. Through supplier relationships, we can provide goods and services throughout New York State. Ultimately, by strengthening supplier diversity in our supply chain, we can positively impact the growth of our energy business for years to come. So with that, before we kind of move on, I want to take a quick moment to run through a safety topic. So next slide. So before we begin, I want to start off with the safety moment like I just mentioned. The topic is relevant. If you are like me, you woke up with snow outside your window, and you know it's that time of year. It is cold. You have to, so next slide. So with that, you have to allow your car to warm up a little longer. I actually worry a lot because I have a wife and a teenage daughter who think they can just start up their car in the garage and just go and drive to work or drive to school without warming it up. It's like, drives me crazy. I bet some of you experience the same. Well, I have to make sure my family remains safe. So here are a few safety tips that you could take away for yourself. 1, check your tires regularly. Tire pressure, as you know, fluctuates with temperature. So with the cold weather, it's certainly something to worry about. Check your vehicle battery. Don't try to jumpstart a frozen battery. It's definitely a no-no. If it tries to turn over, then it's not frozen. But if it doesn't, then you know that you have a problem. So just not enough cold cranking amps, as you know, will be the fault. And then finally, make sure your coolant and oil are adequate. Constantly just check it. Again, we don't want to be stuck out there in the cold and not having enough of the proper fluids for your engine. Next slide. Next, do you have a winter safety kit in your car? Not sure? I think your first homework is to go to your car, check your trunk, and see if you have one. If you don't, you need to get a safety kit right away. If you do, check if it includes the following: flashlight, flares, first aid kit, certainly some blanket, warm clothes, radio, certainly some sort of abrasive materials should you get stuck in the snow, like kitty litter, extra windshield wiper fluids. Again, like I talked about, your fluids is very important. A brush or an ice scraper to scrape out, any ice that's on your windows, and some extra coolant. So those are certainly certain things that you should have available for yourself. Again, winter safety kit. We want to make sure we keep you safe, healthy, and you keep your family safe and healthy. And that's my safety moment. Next slide. So at this time, what I want to do is move on with our agenda. And so I am actually very pleased to announce and welcome Justin Driscoll, our interim president and chief executive officer for the New York Power Authority. Under Justin's leadership, NYPA is implementing its Vision 2030 with the goal of becoming the first end-to-end digital utility in the country. So at this time, I want to turn it over to Justin for a short video.
Good morning. I'm Justin Driscoll, Interim President and CEO at NYPA and Canals, and I'm delighted to welcome you to our 2022 Supplier Diversity Expo. As you will hear and see, this conference is an important example of our ability to make the critical leap from idea to action. To this end, I'm proud to talk about a key component of our Vision 2030, our 10-year strategic plan, becoming an industry leader in diversity, equity, and inclusion. As approved by our trustees, this means developing an internal culture of inclusion, a diverse supplier base, and a commitment to environmental justice. To achieve these important goals, we're implementing a series of internal and external initiatives that will maximize the potential of all of our employees. Internally, we are leveraging our experience and resources to invest in our current Black, Latinx, Asian, and other underrepresented employees. We are also creating pathways for career development and upward mobility. This will make a substantial difference. We are investing in all of our employees' growth and leadership skills so they have a better opportunity to advance within NYPA and/or their chosen career. Additionally, we are collaborating with educational institutions and others to increase the pipeline of diverse employees joining NYPA in the years ahead. Externally, NYPA has a strong history of working with MWBEs and service-disabled veteran-owned small business owners. Starting with our Supplier Diversity Program in 1983, we have awarded more than $1 billion in contracts to diverse suppliers since its inception. NYPA's Supplier Diversity Program contributes to the enrichment of economic development across the state. To build on our already strong legacy in this area, we are doubling our investment in minority women-owned businesses from $80 million a year to $160 million a year over the next 5 years. We will also deploy $500 million over 5 years to clean energy projects targeted to disadvantaged communities near our facilities that deserve environmental justice. We want to reduce pollution and carbon emissions in those areas while spurring the local economy and creating clean energy jobs. Hopefully, you now have a better sense of our plan to become a national DEI leader. This is an exciting time at NYPA, and we are inviting you to join us on this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin, for taking some time to with us today at our Supplier Diversity Expo. It is now my pleasure to welcome John Canale, Vice President of Strategic Supply Management at the New York Power Authority. John.
Thank you, Eric. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. We're very fortunate to have Justin spend some time with us. Just a tremendous individual, and we're very fortunate to have him at NYPA. So welcome to the NYPA Supplier Diversity Expo 2022. The New York Power Authority and the New York State Canals Corporation are proud to present today's full slate of informative panels designed to give you a better idea how businesses and organizations like yours can work with us at NYPA and Canals. This event is part of our Vision 2030 10-year strategic plan to forward NYPA's mission to lead the transition to a carbon-free, economically vibrant New York through customer partnerships, innovative energy solutions, and the responsible supply of affordable, clean, and reliable electricity. We know that we cannot successfully meet these goals without taking action that ensure that supply chain diversity is supported throughout our organizations. That's a commitment we've honored since 1983, when we began our supplier development program and forged a cooperative and longstanding relationship with diverse firms in communities that we serve in New York State. During today's Expo, you will learn of the many different ways we are thriving a more inclusive supplier program. We have taken steps to boldly advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in our supply chain, and we've developed a 10-point plan to put that commitment into action. We are making changes both within the authority and externally across the state. And these changes are supporting the growth of our suppliers, who are the life force that powers the authority and the economy. The changes we are making will help diversify our supplier base as well as strengthen our suppliers' ability to provide greater services to the authority as we expand our energy production within New York State. The success of our suppliers will also create new jobs within the state, benefiting many underserved communities. By being more inclusive in our supply chain, we're powering our entire culture and value chain with a holistic focus and benefits all stakeholders, including our customers, employees, and society as a whole. So please take the opportunity during the Expo to engage with us and other attendees to establish new relationships that can lead to new businesses and collaborations. Learn as much as you can about the opportunities NYPA offers diverse businesses and to others to supply us the goods and services that we need to succeed. By working together in this way, we will not only ensure that NYPA can meet the clean energy needs of our customers, but also ensures that NYPA will continue to be a supplier diversity leader well into the future. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody for their attendance, and I hope you enjoyed today's event. I'll turn it back over to Eric.
Well, thank you, John. You continue to be an advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts among our supplier community and challenging the team to think creatively on ways to break down barriers. To that end, next, I would like to introduce Allison Danielowitz, Supplier Diversity Program Manager. Allison's efforts to the supplier diversity community do not go unnoticed, and we are pleased to have her join us today to highlight 2 new programs aimed to help diverse businesses grow. Allison.
Thank you, Eric. Actually, my program, folks, is pre-recorded because I'm quickly jumping over to a session, but I do want to thank you all for attending and for Lourdes, obviously, for putting together, John under his leadership, and Eric for his efforts to help in this. DEI is amazing. So thank you to all. We look forward to working with you. If you need any help, assistance, please reach out to anyone on the SD team, and we're happy to do that. So I'm going to turn this over to Erica now. She is going to set my pre-recording up, and I apologize for not doing it live, but I am jumping into a session right after this. So again, feel free to reach out at any time. Thank you.
And a couple of the new supplier diversity programs. My name is Allison Danielowitz, and I'm the new program manager for supplier diversity. I am both energized and excited to talk a little bit about supplier diversity and specifically speak to you regarding 2 of our new programs, NYPA's Mentor Protege program and NYPA's Surety Bond Training program. As you may be aware, NYPA has had a supplier diversity program for nearly 30 years with over $1 billion in MWBE spend throughout the period. You may have also heard and or read about NYPA's commitment to the supplier diversity community with continuous efforts to increase the onboarding of MWBE, SDVOB, and small business vendors. One of the key pillars to NYPA's commitment include DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which in turn relates to supplier diversity. The Board of Trustees asked that NYPA's DEI efforts specifically include bolstering DEI in the supply chain. In fact, our goal is to double our diverse spend, MWBE, SDVOB, and small local business from $80 million to $160 million annually over the next 5 years. You can see from this slide, we have outlined 4 new programs to help in this effort. While I will not directly address all of these during this expo, we are currently working on a scope of services to create a small business program. The New York Power Authority is looking to create and implement a multi-channel small business program to benefit local communities throughout New York State. This program is meant to provide guidance and technical assistance to MWBE and SDVOB suppliers on how to identify the small business requirement and navigate the small business program process. We are also exploring a Skill Up mentoring program. This program will work to create an employment pipeline for recent graduates. The goal will be to align graduates with employment within MWBEs, SDVOBs, and small local business. I'm happy to follow up after this presentation, and I'm certainly available for any questions, comments, or concerns regarding any of our programs. What is the NYPA Mentor Protege Program? As we look at our supply chain, we see opportunities to invest in relationships with minority and women-owned business enterprises, as well as service-disabled veteran-owned business and small and local business. However, to do so, we would need to work with these diverse businesses to increase capacity and competencies to meet NYPA and Canal's needs, dismantle barriers, perceived or not, which prevent diverse suppliers from working with NYPA and Canals, and expand opportunities by educating the marketplace on who we are and what we do. Removal of some of these barriers will be accomplished with our new programs. Our first program to launch was the NYPA Mentor Protege Program. The Mentor Protege Program is designed to motivate and encourage prime contractors to provide mutually beneficial developmental assistance to MWBEs, SDVOBs, and small local business. Ultimately, the goal is to improve and/or increase the capacity and capabilities of NYPA's diverse suppliers, positioning NYPA to achieve its 2030 vision of doubling our spend with diverse suppliers. It is important to stress the opportunity NYPA has leveraging the vast resources and capabilities of our prime contractors or larger suppliers towards the development of diverse suppliers. In the slide, I have included some of our objectives, why we started with the pilot program, and some of the mentor protege processes we have been working on to achieve success for this program. We currently have 3 mentor protege teams in place across the state, within the Niagara region, North Country region, and White Plains region, each representing different procurement categories: construction, engineering, implementation contractors, and energy efficiency programs. We are currently working with key stakeholders and end users to align and engage their understanding and support of this program. We are also working to create training and communication materials for all NYPA personnel so that you are provided with necessary knowledge and tools so that anyone you speak with in NYPA can effectively speak to you regarding this program. We are often asked, what is in it for me and why would I want to participate in NYPA's Mentor Protege program? For NYPA, the benefit is to enhance the capabilities and capacities of its diverse suppliers, ultimately providing them with an avenue to grow their business. As the mentee, you will receive benefits included to, but not limited to, technical and/or trade education, financial and/or management assistance, business development assistance, and general administrative or other assistances as determined by you and your mentor. As the mentor, you are given the opportunity to meet your diversity goals, improve your relationship with NYPA and the diverse suppliers in your community. As the mentor, you also engage in knowledge sharing, which encourages more collaboration across your organization. This, in turn, can lead to increased productivity and even innovation, which happens when people of different backgrounds and ways of thinking come together to share their ideas. You, as a team, may come up with other mutual benefits that we have not listed here. Please keep in mind the goal is to ultimately create a continuous relationship that will mutually benefit both of you. Our second program to launch is the Surety Bond Training Program. NYPA recognized bonding as a barrier to contracting. We also identified working capital or lack of access to capital as a barrier. This Surety Bond Training Program aims to solve these two major areas and back office preparedness. This will be done through webinars, classes, and one-on-one consulting. This program will create a platform for NYPA to increase contracting goals with New York State MWBE and SDVOBs as primes. It will increase the available pool of contractors nationally to access to NYPA's procurement opportunities, develop and foster long-term business relationships between MWBEs and SDVOBs as large primes for NYPA, pre-qualify MWBE and SDVOB as primes for bonding, and pre-qualify MWBEs and SDVOBs as primes for access to capital. We are currently in the marketing phase of this program. Following the intake process, which is outlined on the previous slide, 2 cohorts will be created. One for contractors with less than $750 in revenue, and one for contractors with greater than $750,000 in revenue. If you are interested in applying, please complete an online application at tcgportals.com/NYPA. All applicants will receive an action plan for growth, and those applicants that are accepted into the program will be notified by February. Should you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we will make sure to answer each of them. We are also interested in learning about any ideas you may have regarding programming. As MWBEs, SDVOBs, and small businesses, what kinds of programming will help you? Again, thank you for your time today and allowing me the opportunity to explain a couple of our new supplier diversity programs. NYPA is committed to creating industry-leading supplier diversity programs, as well as opportunities for MWBEs, SDVOBs, and small local business. I look forward to reviewing the chat's questions, comments, and concerns so that we can address the needs of the diverse suppliers in our communities. Please remember, if you need further information or clarification, my email address is allison.danewitz@nypa.gov. That's ALYSON.DANIELEWIZZ@nypa.gov. Again, thank you for your time today and enjoy the expo.
Well, thank you, Allison. Certainly looking forward to having our existing as well as our new diverse suppliers participate in these programs. You don't understand, this is the first time ever that we're going to have these types of programs geared for our diverse suppliers. So I'm very, very excited about these new programs. And again, if you want to hear more about these programs, certainly reach out to Allison. She will be more than willing to provide some more details on how to sign up, the registration process, etc. So certainly, please reach out to us. We'll share more information as time progresses. So before we kind of continue with today's agenda, I would like to share a few housekeeping items with you right now. So first of all, to join the sessions today, throughout the day, please visit the main lobby. So the way you came in, you registered, you were able to come into this morning's session. Same way, go back to the main lobby, click on the session that you want to participate in. From here, you'll be able to do a couple of things. One is view today's agenda. There's a whole bunch of different sessions that are happening at different times of the day. With that, you can then join any of the sessions that are there at what, during each of the launches. The second part, when attending the sessions, we encourage you to ask questions by using either the chat function or the Q&A features. I see some of the folks already have been using the chat function, so I'm excited. So you've kind of found it already. Please continue to do that. We want to hear from you. So we certainly encourage all attendees to use the chat, throughout the sessions. Also, we want to let you know that we also will be having a live poll throughout the day, or poll questions, which will help us kind of learn more about you, about your experience here at the Expo. So when the polls come on throughout the day, please take a moment to respond to the poll, because we want to hear from you, our suppliers. Lastly, if you are experiencing any technical issues throughout the day, can you do me a favor? Would you mind just contact, we're going to add to the chat. Here's an email address. It will be NYPA, NYPA events at Bergman, BERMANGRP.com. You can send an email there. We'll have representatives there to kind of help you if you have any technical issues. Hopefully there are none, but again, I just want to kind of put that out there. We'll make sure we'll put that in the chat today, so that way you know what email address to send it to. But with that, I thank you for today for your joining us, and we hope that you enjoy the Expo. At this time, you can go to the lobby.